Ladies and gentlemen, the Chateau is now live, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
He could have been out there spanking Whitey. He could have been in there going all Colin Morikawa, driving greens, driving par fours right off the tee box with the left-handed smooth swing down there in Louisiana. A man on Fox Sports, I don't know whether he wants college football, if he just wants to play golf every day, since he's been doing it a lot during the pandemic. The great Tim Brando. Timmy, how are you, man?
I'm wonderful, Tony. Great to be with you guys. And, when I leave you, I am going to be channeling every tee shot. After I hit it, I'm going to be just calling it out. Morikawa. I'm going just give me a drivable par 2. And I'm there, okay? Not a drivable par 4, but a drivable par 2.
Well, the funniest thing before we get to college football is, you know how much Morikawa won, right, for winning the PGA Championship?
Probably about, $1.5 million?
$1.9 million.
Yeah,
you know how much he takes home after taxes in California?
Probably about $400,000.
No, $900,000.
Oh, is that
he
it?
basically will pay $1 million of that. More than half of his money will go to the taxes.
Well, that's why.
He went to
Mickelson's
Berkeley, so he knew that.
No, he knew that.
Yeah, he knew.
Mickelson's finally wised up. He's moving to Florida.
He is moving to Florida.
Yeah,
The taxes are just ridiculous. And that's why, Tim. Well, the taxes. You got income tax down there in Louisiana, don't you, Tim?
Oh yeah, we got parish taxes. Oh, we're big on taxes. We love the state line to the state of Texas. We say we're leaving the state of Texas and headed into the state of Texas.
The state
we've
of
got
Texas.
to take care of them. Thanks to that lovely Huey P. Long family, I do declare. And Napoleonic rule from our friends from France, we've got our fair share of taxes to pay here.
It's an outrage, Tim. I don't know how you do it, man.
It is. It's an outrage. But you know what? I carry on because I can, Tony. I fight through it. Cost of living is actually quite good. I'm going to say the Chateau, had it been built in, lovely Farmington, Connecticut, might have cost me a couple of decimal points more than I actually paid.
Exactly
You
right.
get my drift?
I hear you, man. All right, Tim.
Yeah.
Big Ten. Now, here's the question, because the Big Ten hasn't actually made it official.
Yeah,
but the commissioner, does he just floating this out there to
like
see
a
which way
balloon?
the wind? Yeah, and then he puts his finger up and he licks it and puts it in the air to see which way the wind's blowing before he cancels the Big Ten season?
But, sadly, it sort of looks that way. There's a lot more to it than that. And I'm trying to, being with you guys, I knew that when you reached out to me today, at least I could find some reason to smile. I'm going to be on with Bruno. I'm going to be with Tony.
And don't forget Harry Mays, who invited me to his golf course on Saturday. I got to play golf for the first time in 5 years with Harry on Saturday, and I sucked.
Are you a bit like Harry Callahan, all your partners die, or are you just regular Harry Mays?
Well, I have gone through quite a list of partners as far as radio shows.
So has Bruno, by the way. He's gone through quite a few. It's one of his partners on radio outnumber his ex-wife, which is rare.
No, I only have one ex-wife. It outnumbers the Kardashians, Instagram fellows. Anyway, let's get it back to the Big Ten now, Tim.
But honestly, this is Armageddon. We're facing Armageddon in college football. I mean, Tony, the saddest part about all of this is I've been pounding the pavement for almost 2 decades, saying we need one voice for college football. We need unified and universal leadership. Mm-hmm. How in the world did we get to this point where in the second week of August, we find out from the commissioners of the Power Five that each stinking one of them has their own Anthony Fauci?
Yep.
We got 5 Faucis represent. 5 epidemiologists aren't going to agree on anything.
Exactly.
I mean, that's like trying to get, Pelosi and, name your Republican, to agree to have where to eat at 5 o'clock in D.C. It's crazy. The fact that all of the information, the experts and those that are involved from a medical standpoint for the Power Five, the fact that they are not sharing their information, the fact that no epidemiologist from the Southeastern Conference or ACC is having consultation at all with the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the Big 12 is absurd, absolutely absurd. But that's what they're telling us. So the Big Ten, which 5 days ago put out for us they rolled out their schedule, right? Now, within 5 days, they tell us, well, forget all that work. We're not going to play at all. Well, wait a minute. The report was the vote was 12-2 of the 14. Then we get a report from, these are all reputable writers, okay? Whatever Nicole Auerbach is writing, Pete Thamel debunks. Whatever Stuart Mandel writes, somebody else is debunking. These are all really good writers, all with contacts, all getting information that is refuted by their own people 10 minutes later on Twitter. This has been going on since Saturday. And the reason, listen, I don't blame the journalists. You go with the information that you have.
Right.
But we've got everybody speaking out of their you-know-whats without any credibility whatsoever. So college athletics is a public relations nightmare. It is without leadership. It's fundamentally flawed at every turn. The conference commissioner at the Big Ten, who came, by the way, from the NFL.
Yeah, from the Vikings, right? Kevin Warren was the president of the Vikings, right?
Some say being groomed to be Roger Goodell's replacement in later years, by the way. He's new to this. And his presidents, obviously, and this comes back down to presidents because all commissioners serve at the pleasure of the presidents of these institutions. And I'm here to tell you, in the Big Ten, they've gotten enough information from their scientists to say, oh, we're in trouble. Then you had the kid last week, the tackle from Indiana, that definitely had a heart issue. Now they're trying to suggest that COVID it got involved after the heart. We don't know, but there's concern about liability. All right, so the council for each of these schools, that's where the presidents wind up going, right? And by the way, don't tell me they're not politicians. I got a tweet a little while ago. I saw it from Andrew Marchand of the Post, said after President Trump said what he did, I don't like politicians getting involved in college athletics. But wait a minute. How many college presidents do you think were formerly governors, U.S. senators,
exactly.
or congressmen? Or, by the way, they were and then they came to be the school president, or vice versa. David Bourne, Donna Shalala. Shall I go on? Okay, they're all in politics. So enough with that. The reality is everybody is living in silos, and they're all doing on islands whatever they want to do. The conventional wisdom among those, all right, in the media is that the Big Ten making this really tough first step will see the SEC follow, then the ACC and the Big 12 will follow them. Tony, that's not what I'm hearing. Not with the contacts I have. And, you know, college football in the Sun Belt is not just a sport, it's a way of life.
It's a religion, too. And
do you realize how many donors at these major institutions in the South are going to cut off those schools, giving them those big fat checks for hundreds of thousands of dollars annually? They will be gone. They'll be history if they don't play college football in the fall. So I suspect that there's a very good chance that the SEC, their start date is on the 26th. The problem for the Big Ten was, understandably, even though they cut it back to just conference games only, they threw the MAC under the bus. That's why the MAC had to cancel, because they had 12 games with the Big Ten, costing them a lot of money. They're saving money by not playing.
Right.
That's why they're not playing. Okay? You can talk to me about the science all you want. You're going to lose your rear end. You'd rather not play. That's why they're not playing.
Exactly.
So the Big Ten has got a problem because of the dates they set. All right, so just announce that you're sliding it back. Don't start until the 26th of September, just like the SEC. But no. We can't say the SEC had a good idea by waiting, because that's their idea. It's not ours.
Yep.
The leadership in intercollegiate athletics, Tony, is filled with insufferable hubris. No one wants to admit that the other guy or gal has a good idea. It sucks out loud. It's going to bring the entire sport to its knees. And college football, which is not just a game, but a way of life for its many fans, whether they're in the Big Ten, the SEC, it's a way of life for those fans. They will turn on the sport, the likes of which the NFL fans turned on that league when the Kaepernick flop occurred back in 2016. It will be catastrophic. So let's hope that these reports about the Big Ten and their decision and their vote will get enough blowback. They've already gotten some. Jim Harbaugh, for crying out loud, is even against it. And you saw, I think, an impassioned speech at his presser today by Scott Frost at Nebraska.
Nebraska, yes.
Listen, I can see the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 saying, Big 10 don't want to play. Pac-12 don't want to play. Guess what? We got a crystal. We're going to battle for it. Nebraska, come on over here and play Oklahoma. For one season only, we'll put you in the Big 12 North again. And let's play ball, and let's play for the title. And if you think they really care that the Big 10 and the Pac-12 are saying, no, we're not playing, forget about it.
Let's get that Southwest Conference back together again now, Tim. Let's get that Southwest Conference back.
Yeah. I mean, it's about, listen, if you thought anybody in any of these leagues gave a damn about the other league, then you are out of your mind. College football, its biggest problem is that no one that loves it loves all of it. They love their front yard, their backyard, our way of life. Screw their way of life. We don't even care. Does Oregon even have a team? They don't care in the Sun Belt. They don't. And you could say the same thing about that part of the country when it views. That's the problem. By the way, the War Chest would have had a little more money had there been 8 teams in the playoffs the last 10 years instead of 4. All right? They've been mismanaged, Tony, from the jump. College football, since the godforsaken BCS era began, has gone into the toilet. And it pains me to say that because it's a sport that I love dearly. And yes, does it affect me more because I'm emotionally attached to the game? Absolutely it is. And I will tell that to anyone that ever asks me.
I think we need to get the.
Oh, by the way, is it going to stop the NFL from taking those Saturday and Friday windows?
Nope.
No
way.
The one that they are smiling all the way to the bank if college football is not played in the Power 5 conference.
I think we need to start the hashtag now. Okay.
What is it?
Brando for CFB commish.
Well, Tim and I used to have these discussions when we were both at Sporting News, and we were the anti-BCS. I mean, we did the anti-BCS. Tim had a countdown every week.
Oh, yeah?
Right?
Yeah, I did.
The beast, nobody killed the BCS. Tim was number one. I was right there behind him, man.
And the blazer-wearing bozos.
Blazer-wearing bozos of the BCS Championship Series, man.
Yeah, and I pulled that blip. My daughter was in college at the time, and we blew there was a little blip that was an internet cartoon called Strong Bad. And she pulled it out, and I would go, it's day 3,976 of the BCS. And Strong Bad would go, the world in crisis.
The world in crisis, exactly right. Now, Tim's fired up, Aaron.
Yeah, I love
This is a man, that's why I wanted to get him on, because this man loves college football. This isn't a guy, he's not like Florio who writes a column, these poor guys, these guys are complaining about not being able to work. Meanwhile, he's a guy who's sitting there and gets paid no matter what happens.
That's what I'm saying before he even jumped on. I could see the ACC, the Big 12, and, of course, the SEC just playing football, and they don't care whether the others play or not.
Exactly right.
They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't care. And, by the way, I have tremendous respect for my fellow journalists in all of this. But I'm telling you guys, we can try all we want to keep politics out of this. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Politics is a part of every aspect of this. And the mere mention, and this is the thing that really bothers me, Tony, because as you know, some people said when I was talking about expansion of the college football playoff, oh, he's a socialist. I came off as some bleeding heart liberal that wanted to put, ribbons on everybody that took part in the 100-yard dash at field day. That's how I was perceived. I'm anything but socialist or a Democrat. I mean, I'm a registered Republican, but I am not far right at all. You can have compassion and still be a Republican. So it shouldn't be about that, but it always comes back to that.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Now, you said it earlier, Tim, when you're talking about the college football hierarchy is just like politics, Democrats and Republicans. Yes. You said it. One league has an idea, the other league says, well, we can't do that because then the other league will get credit for it.
Right.
Yeah, we can't. We just couldn't do that to our kids. And by the way, where is Mark Emmert through all of this? Doing absolutely nothing. Zero. I mean, zero. He has done zilch for college football.
How fired up is Tim Brando?
We need to bottle this.
We need to bottle this. We need to play this back every hour until football kicks off in September. And
let me say this, Tony. When I tell you, and Harry, when I tell you that I think college football should be played, that it can be done, that a plan in 5 months should have been put together, something besides the calendar and hope. All right? A plan should have been put together.
Mm-hmm.
We got enough leaders to do it. I don't care what their backgrounds are. We got enough leaders to pull this thing off. And these kids are a hell of a lot more safe when they're being tested 3 times a week in a football facility than when you put them out with the rest of the student body and they have no one governing their day. They're accustomed to being regimented. They're accustomed to being told what to do. But when I tell you that I'm optimistic, somebody comes back at me and says, I don't care about human life, that I lack human dignity. You know what? Put this in your peace pipe and smoke it. I love this game more than anyone in the media. And I'll also torpedo what's wrong with college football quicker than a hiccup.
Exactly.
So don't come to me and tell me I don't have any compassion for humanity, that kids are going to, what do you do? The blood will be on your hands. That's, you know what? I'm not going to stand for it, no matter what anybody says, at any time.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
Wow.
Tim Brando, 2020.
Yes, sir.
Forget Kanye. Let's get Tim Brando in the White House.
Tim, we are all standing in the studio right now.
I just want to be in his cabinet.
Oh,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Boy, when he gets on that first tee now, right after
baby.
this interview, and he gets that gigantic, super gigantic.
I got my Notre Dame helmet.
There it is. That's his Notre Dame helmet, man. ACC champions, baby. ACC champion Fighting Irish. Did you get Theismann?
In 158 years, they can go for a conference title.
Wow.
Hey, Tim, we got to run, man. Really appreciate you coming on. That's great passion
great.
right there, man.
Hey, Harry, don't ever change, but if you do, don't do it in front of Tony.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Timmy. We'll see you soon, man, I hope. Thanks, brother. The great Tim Brando, Harry. Are you going to get a better college football segment than that anywhere else?
Nowhere.
Harry? Hell no.
Nowhere.
We're coming.